What's up, brand builder? Stephen Horahan here at brandmasteracademy.com, and in this video you're going to learn what brand hierarchy is with 5 types, structures, and examples. So you can discover a better way to provide your audience with clarity around what you offer and why they should care. Now, branding is nothing if not a means to provide the market with clarity and meaning. Brand hierarchy, therefore, is a massively important structural approach for brands to provide exactly that. Brand hierarchy provides the means to arrange a company's different brands, products, and services by creating a clear visual and conceptual structure for the brand family. And this makes managing a portfolio of brands much more efficient and effective for brand managers and entrepreneurs. And in this video, we're diving into the importance of brand hierarchy, its differences from brand architecture, as well as examples, types, structures, and levels. So what exactly is brand hierarchy? Well, in the name of hierarchy, why don't we start at the top? Brand hierarchy is an organizational brand strategy to provide structure to a portfolio of brands. Brands don't live in a silo, and quite often, organizations have ties and relationships with other brands, forming part of a larger organizational structure of brands, also known as a brand portfolio. And when we think of a standard organizational chart in a business, we likely see some executives at the top, followed by middle management, followed by then line managers, and then non-management roles. Now, this is essentially the people hierarchy within a business. But instead of people, brand hierarchy gives structure and organization to a portfolio of brands, forming part of an overall brand strategy. So why is brand hierarchy important in the first place? Well, it's essential for brands to build a consistent brand image and brand identity within a given market. And it helps their target audience and the wider market players to identify and differentiate a brand's products and its services from those of their competitors. So along with providing clarity to the market, it also serves as a framework for managing the brand's portfolio effectively and a structural map and compass for product development and expansion. So what's the difference then between brand hierarchy and brand architecture? Are they the same? Are they different? Well, although the two terms are often used interchangeably, brand hierarchy and brand architecture are two different concepts. Brand architecture refers to the overall structure of a company's brands and how those brands relate to one another. Brand hierarchy, on the other hand, refers to the arrangement of brands and products within the overall brand architecture. So in other words, brand hierarchy is a component of brand architecture. The hierarchy focuses on organizing the different brands and products within the brand family. So let's take a look at 5 brand hierarchy examples, types, and structures. Now, brand hierarchy can take on many different models and structures depending on the company's overarching brand strategy and their marketing strategy as well, and dependent on their industry and their market position as well. Now, these elements represent an important consideration for the brand in order to avoid any confusion and to continue to offer clarity to the market. Now, whether you're managing an established brand with established products or introducing a new brand with new products, brand hierarchy represents a solid business strategy to increase clarity and reduce customer confusion. So here are 5 types of brand hierarchy and their examples as well. The first up is monolithic brand hierarchy. Now, a monolithic brand hierarchy is a brand strategy where all of the brand's products, subproducts, and services are positioned and marketed under a single brand name. Apple, for example, uses the monolithic brand hierarchy structure where all of the brand's individual products, from the iPhone to the MacBook to the iMac and everywhere in between, are marketed under the Apple corporate brand. Now, this is an excellent option for smaller brands that want to provide clarity around the products and services that they offer. The next structure is the endorsed brand hierarchy. Now, an endorsed brand hierarchy is a structure where the products and services are positioned as sub-brands under a parent brand which endorses the individual sub-brands. So Nestle, for example, is a parent brand that uses the endorsed hierarchy structure to endorse product lines and sub-brands such as KitKat, Nescafe, Nestea, and everywhere in between. Now, this approach offers the sub-brands a little more freedom to deviate from the look and feel and personality of the parent brands when compared to the monolithic structure. And with this approach, each sub-brand boasts its own individual visual brand, albeit with a clear presentation of the parent brand. The next structure is the branded house hierarchy. Now, a branded house strategy provides structure to brand portfolios where the sub-brands clearly leverage the brand name and the equity of the parent brand, with a name, position, and target audience for each of the sub-brands. So, for example, FedEx and Virgin are two perfect examples of a branded house strategy. So all of the Virgin sub-brands such as Virgin Atlantic, Virgin Media, and Virgin Money clearly fall under the masthead of the parent brand Virgin. The next structure is the House of Brands. Now, the House of Brands hierarchy is the most independent brand strategy of all brand hierarchy approaches. And with this approach, the parent brand boasts a brand portfolio of independent brands, each with its own distinct brand elements, including the brand identity, the position, the personality, brand messaging, and target audience. Now, this approach enables parent brands to serve a wide variety of markets and market segments, often with similar products appealing to distinct groups. So Unilever and Procter & Gamble are the two poster child examples for the House of Brands strategy. Procter & Gamble boasts 65 brands across 10 product categories, with brands including Tide, Pampers, and Gillette. And then we have the hybrid brand hierarchy. Now, a hybrid brand hierarchy provides parent brands and sub-brands with the flexibility of associations and brand equity of the endorsed brand approach, with the freedom of independence of the House of Brands approach as well. So, for example, the Marriott Hotel is an excellent example of a hybrid brand hierarchy where each of its hotels and resources has a unique sub-brand. Now, some of these sub-brands leverage the endorsed brand approach, such as the Marriott Executive Apartments and the Marriott Courtyard, with others falling underneath the House of Brands structure, such as the Ritz-Carlton, Westin, and the Sheraton. So what's the difference then between a brand portfolio versus a product portfolio? Another set of words that are often used interchangeably is product portfolio and brand portfolio, though there is a difference between the two. A brand portfolio refers to the collection of brands that a company owns or manages, while a product portfolio refers to the collection of products and services that the companies offer. So brand hierarchy helps us to manage both brands and product portfolios effectively, and it creates a guideline and a strategic direction for management when it comes to product development and expansion as well. Now, brand hierarchy has a few different levels that create a clear visual and conceptual structure for the brand family. So let's take a look at the different levels of brand hierarchy. The first level is the corporate brand, also known as the master brand. Now, the corporate brand is the overarching parent brand and the top level of brand hierarchy, representing the overall corporate brand of the entire company. So, for example, the Coca-Cola Company and Amazon are corporate brands. Next up, we have the family brand. Now, the family brand level represents a group of brands under a common parent brand. So, for example, Virgin sub-brands such as Virgin Atlantic and Virgin Money are part of the same brand family under the Virgin parent brand. Next up is the individual brand. Now, an individual brand represents an independent brand with its own unique identity, its own unique position, and target audience. Now, although individual brands may be part of a larger brand portfolio, they operate independently. So, for example, Gillette is part of the Unilever brand portfolio, but it is an individual brand. And then we have the product brand level. Now, a product brand represents a specific product or service within an individual brand. So, for example, Apple is an individual brand that owns a portfolio of product brands such as the iPhone and the iMac. Now, although these are products of Apple, they've been structured as separate brands to provide clarity to the market. Now, as we've already covered, there are plenty of business advantages to a well-structured brand hierarchy. But let's dive a little bit deeper. Brand differentiation. So a clear brand hierarchy helps to establish and maintain brand differentiation and customer loyalty over time. The trust build-up across a brand family serves as a point of difference across markets and a reason to choose one brand over another. Next up is brand equity. Now, brand equity is the value of the brand name and reputation, which translates into the willingness of consumers to choose a brand or to pay a premium for a brand over its competitors. Brand hierarchy across a brand portfolio allows equity to flow from one brand to another. Efficient brand management. Now, managing brands and brand families are far more efficient and effective with a well-established brand hierarchy, and that helps brand management with strategic decision-making as well. And then there's product development. So deciding what products to develop or how to develop them is a challenge at the best of times, but brand hierarchy does provide parent brand managers with clarity on the markets that they serve and where the demand is higher. And then, of course, we have consistency. Managing multiple brands is no easy task, and when consistency is the cornerstone of building trust, it becomes even more challenging. Brand hierarchy provides the clarity that paves the way for consistency across multiple brands and their marketing strategies, from social media marketing to content, advertising, digital marketing, and everywhere in between. So how do you manage brand hierarchy? Well, managing brand hierarchy requires a strategic approach and clear understanding of the company's overarching strategy. So let's take a look at some steps to help you manage brand hierarchy effectively. Number one, define your brand strategy. Now, within a brand's hierarchy, there needs to be a guiding strategy for the overall organization. Is there a certain market, type of person, industry, or sub-industry that your organization will serve? Define who you're for and who you're not for. Number two, define your brand positioning strategy. So knowing where you want your overarching brand to sit in the market is a key decision. And once you're clear on the position of your parent brand, you then need to get clear on the position of each brand in the portfolio within their given markets. Number three, define your brand architecture. So define the overall structure of your brand architecture strategy and the different types of brands within the brand family. Include brands that you expect to develop or to acquire in the future based on your possible expansion strategy. Number four, create a roadmap for product development. Now, clarity on the brand strategy, position, and architecture paves the way for strategic decision-making. A roadmap for product development also provides a roadmap for growth and expansion. And then, of course, monitor and evaluate. So keep an eye on the hierarchy of your brand and the performance of the brands within the family. So learn from both the successes and the failures of brands within the portfolio and use these learnings to optimize the strategy. A rebranding or a brand refresh is often the last option, but it can help to realign a misaligned brand. Now look, brand hierarchy is an essential component of a successful brand strategy for companies with multiple brands or even multiple products. It provides a clear visual and conceptual structure for the brand family. It helps to maintain the brand equity and customer loyalty, and it creates a roadmap for product development and expansion. Understanding the different types, structures, and levels of brand hierarchy and managing it effectively can really help businesses to build a strong and enduring brand in a competitive market. Now, if you want to dive deeper into brand strategy, then this video here will help you out. But before you click it, if you want to become a master of brand, make sure you hit the like and subscribe to get notified when new videos like this are released. Until next time, brand like a master, and I'll see you in the next video.